All right, let's try part two of this. Apparently, there was echo in the background, and I'm back again. This is Keep It 100 podcast. Terrell McBee, your host. Our guest, Alexa Valentino, will be joining right now, actually, because I just saw her. So, let me add her. Okay, let's see.
Here I am.
Okay, for sure. Well, let's try this again. um, again, you want to introduce yourself. You don't have to say all the other long story you said before. You could just like say
Yeah.
something small, but for sure.
Uh, so yeah, I'm a songwriter, actress, entrepreneur. I'm 15 and I am based in New York. So yeah.
For sure. Oh, you're 15?
Yeah.
Oh, you got started early, didn't you?
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. First question I have. I didn't know you had a Spotify until like recently. So, um, your latest song is "Awake at Night," correct?
Yeah.
Uh, do you have like an inspiration behind like putting out that song?
Yes, I wrote it with I actually, believe it or not, I was awake at night. And I come up with a bunch of ideas a lot that I just write down, title ideas, song ideas. And I'm kind of awake at night, kind of like laying like awake. And I was writing some ideas, and that happened to be one of them. So when I presented it to the person I wrote it with, we were just kind of talking and opening up about our own lives. So when we thought of Awake at Night, um, basically we decided to put our own, what keeps us personally like awake at night, behind the meaning of the song. And yeah.
For sure. Okay, sounds good. And I was gonna ask a question of when did you first get into music, but I'm not sure if that was like at a younger age. Was that like at a younger age?
Yeah, acting at 5, but I started like releasing music at 11.
Okay, for sure. That's good. And do you have like inspirations, like far as like certain artists that like you follow?
Yeah, like I do a lot of like broken down like inspirations, but like overall inspiration would definitely be Lady Gaga, which I know a lot of people say, but she's basically just kind of done it all. Like she started out as a writer. Um, she's done acting. She starred in A Star Is Born, and she's an amazing pianist and singer, and um, I love her. So I would definitely consider her to be like my main inspiration.
For sure. And the question we ask literally every artist that we interview, well, I guess it's considered a question. Do you have a top five artist list?
Um, Top 5 is easier than like a top 3, so I would probably say Lady Gaga. I'm gonna have to put Halsey on there. Um, Camila Cabello, I really like. Um, who else do I really love? I'm probably gonna put Black Bear on there. I love Black Bear. Um, and who else would get on that list? Probably Julia Mike.
For
Because she
sure.
has a big songwriting part of her that I admire. Yeah.
Okay, that's a different list, but again, every artist list is different.
Yeah.
Good list though, for sure. Um, Let me see. Are you a part of a label? Like, are you independent?
I'm independent right now.
And do you eventually want to be a part of a label, or are you just trying to go like the independent route?
You know, I'm working I'm working with a company right now. They're a publishing company, and um they're really mentoring me and guiding me with my branding right now, but I like not being under a contract. I don't want to be like controlled. If I got some, amazing opportunity, I would think it over. It wouldn't be a like never, no way. But the second I, get offered, if I were to get offered a label deal or a record deal, I wouldn't just jump at it. I would have to think it deeply into.
For sure. And I've been talking to like a lot of artists, and I guess like the independent way has been what I've been told. It's like, I guess it's like the new wave of the way to go.
Yeah,
You're owning 100% of your music. And I'm not sure like the dynamics of it, but I think owning 100% of your music is like great.
yeah,
But yeah, I have to do more research on it. But the 100%
yeah,
of the music is, yeah, that's amazing.
yeah. Whenever I've gotten songs signed, film and TV like sync purposes or whatever, um, I've made sure, under contract, where they're not getting any of my pictures or any of my music. And I do kind of like the idea of that. I was actually reading an article learning about 10 ways the music can change in the next 10 years. And that record labels are really the
Mhm.
thing. So it's really interesting that you brought it up. But yeah, I think that's definitely um, a pro of
For
that.
for
Yeah.
sure. And what is the process of switching topics? What's the process of when you write a song? Like, say, if you write a song, right? Like, is there someone you send it to tell you like the positives and negatives? If there's negatives, like, is there someone you send it to for like feedback on that?
So I have a couple different mentors that I do send back. A lot of the times they're specific, and I can't say too much yet.
Yeah.
Like publishers I've been working with for a while now, as far as like signing my songs for film and TV,
Mm.
and we almost kind of like have an agreement, like not an agreement, but we have a relationship. She almost basically hears everything right as if I was like had like a publishing deal with her. So a lot of the stuff that I write, I kind of have her in the back of my mind. And a lot of my stuff I do present to her. But I have like other mentors in different like areas and strong suits that I will present my music to, especially if it's something I'm planning on releasing.
Mm.
Because I don't want to get in my head and like only believe, because we convince ourselves that our own songs are, perfect. And learning how to read my own stuff was a big, hurdle. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I do.
Okay. And far as let's figure out Maxis. Far as like the size of like your group, like do you prefer like a large group or like a small knit group?
I prefer a smaller group, but there's pros and cons of both. Like,
Mm.
I'm really like talk specifics here, but one of my mentors, her name is Sharice Poltore, and she's owner of Songwriters Connection, which is a smaller group in Nashville, and they do song evaluation, which are online pitch. And her company is successful, but more of that like family community. She actually came from NSAI, which
Uh-huh.
is Nashville Songwriters Association International, and they have like big like group meetings and like all these bigger things that I still like attend and stuff. So I'm kind of a part of both. So it's nice to have like a balance, but I would say a smaller sometimes better. You feel like you're getting more feedback. You feel really connected to the person that is giving you that.
Mm.
But I think there's pros and cons to both, which is why it's nice.
For sure. And let me ask you this: like, is there a certain producer or artist that you eventually want to work with, like in the future?
Um, I was actually just thinking about this today. As far as a producer I'd like to work with. I'd like to work with Zed at some point in my life. I am able to,
Mhm.
like, cool. An artist to work with. Hmm. I believe it or not, I would like to work with an artist in my time, like that I am not like super like that I love much. Like obviously I want to like them and enjoy their music, but probably not like one of my top fives. And the reason I say when it comes to like people I like idolize, I kind of have created like a perception of them in my head. And I almost kind of want to keep it that way. I'd like to maybe work with artists like that I don't know much about or whatever and really get to know them that way. I don't know if that makes sense. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could think of a specific artist. There's just so many at this point. Um, but yeah.
For sure. Um, I'm gonna ask you a question about this playlist I started. You're actually the first pop singer I started listening to. So
Really?
yeah. So I'm I'm gonna ask you about this playlist. So let me find this playlist. So this playlist on your Spotify shows 5 songs. Is that accurate or is there more?
Um, I have I have more out. I'm gonna have a lot more out, but I think it was created of my top five, like most listened to. I
Uh, I
created.
think so. Yeah, because "Awake at Night" is like number one.
Yeah, it's one.
I heard that. I just heard that one before we came on. I like that one. "Jealousy" haven't heard that one yet. "Lying is a Sin."
Yeah,
That sounds like an interesting song. I might vibe out to that later. Um, "Pull Me Down Under."
that's
Yeah. Okay, so I have a new playlist apparently, so I will be listening to that after we're done. But let me ask you about, I guess, because these are all off of EPs, right? Like all these
so
songs.
I released one EP in 2018. And then I have about like 6 or 7 other singles out. So I don't think actually any of those. I do have coming. And it's so crazy to me because I have written like hundreds of songs based on songwriting work I do.
Uh,
I just am so excited to finally like release this stuff and let you guys hear it. But I do only have one EP out, and I don't believe any of those songs with it because those are.
for sure. What far as like your, I guess, debut album? Are you gonna do something like that eventually?
So I really wanted to do. I actually wanted to do an album next instead of an EP. But I was, going through with some of my advisors, like on like my team and my own like reflection, and I really wanted to see as a way to like really like bring awareness to my name and my artistry. I have that, like I don't want to necessarily say like fan base. That sounds like I don't like to say that, but like community. Uh,
Hmm.
I want to be able to then present it. I also feel like I'm at a point where I'm like 85 is like really understand my sound. I want to wait till I'm at 100% and really let that be my debut album. I don't want to do anything too soon. So soon, soon.
Okay, for sure. I'll be on the lookout. I
Okay,
believe, I believe we follow each other now, so I'll get a notification whenever you post something.
you will.
For sure. Um, what about like you as an artist? Is there anyone you compare yourself, or is it just you?
Um, I try not to do that too much. Because I don't want to find myself like, um, I, I mean, I would consider myself like, I definitely have like small like individual outlets, like, you know, other artists, but there's no one I would necessarily like compare myself to. I feel like my own sound that I'm pretty unique, and I that way. I don't want to, start to categorize myself with another artist because, I'm on a journey and sometimes you can get, you know,
Mhm.
mentally confusing. Um, so I wouldn't necessarily, compare myself solely to any other artist, but I definitely have other artists, in my own artist.
Uh, for sure. Okay, sounds good. And next question I have is actually about the studio. Actually, um, is there an average amount of time that an artist spends in the studio? I think I know the answer, but I want to see what you think about that.
Like, do you mean like a day, like going in, recording, and leaving?
Yeah,
Probably 3, 4.
3, 4 hours.
Probably, which
Okay,
it could be more, and sometimes it could be less, but I usually spend like an average of about 4 hours.
for
Sometimes
sure.
6, but yeah.
Okay, and since you've been an artist, like, have you learned from being in the studio? Have you learned like how to like produce and use like I guess other, what's the word I'm looking for? Other systems and software in there. Like, have you?
Yeah, I actually created my own home studio quarantine because I had to. So I definitely have like picked some stuff up. It depends on the like producer, the engineer. Like one of the ones I use like most frequently, like that he's recorded a lot of my songs. I'm actively part of the process. And then there's some that just like do their thing and over here.
Uh,
But I pick stuff up and I'm able to do like an amount of things now. Um, I would definitely say for sure though. Yeah.
okay, and what was the process like? Was it like simple to figure out, or did it like take you some time to like go over everything?
The basics are pretty easy. Learning how to create a track, the mic, as far as like things sound like mixer, I'm still at for sure. The basics weren't too hard. Setting everything up properly though, like getting
Hmm.
all the equipment set up and everything, that was not fun. But as far as the side of it, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I always wondered if I I kind of pay attention to music now. Not that like I podcast and stuff, but like I was always wondering like how would the artist learn how like the systems work. I guess it's kind of like trial and error when you're in there.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. And if someone wants to see well, not see your music, but like find out more about your music, I know you have a link in your Instagram. Um, do you,
Yeah.
do you mind sharing that, or I could just create a post after the video?
Actually, I will website that really has everything.
For sure.
I don't know if you can pin it after. I think you can.
Um,
You should be able to do that. I think you have to like down,
okay,
but
I'm gonna remember what the website is. So
it's www.alexavalentino.com.
for sure, yeah. So if anyone's interested in learning more about our music, there's a website. But
Yeah.
back to learning about you. As far as like, are you based in New York right now?
Primarily, yes. I do kind of split my time between New York and Nashville at this point, and I'm making the move to Nashville within the next like year and a half, 2 years. Um, but yeah, I live
And is that where you're originally from?
here. Yeah.
For sure. And how is it like being 15 years old and like an artist? Like, I'm talking before the coronavirus situation. Like, how were you able to like balance school and like your music and being like 15? I
I
know
don't
how.
like I honestly don't know how I did it all. And now that I'm home like doing school due to coronavirus, if I ever did it. Um it's definitely And I did really well in school. So to think that I was able to do that. When I was really young, like elementary school, I was basically learning how to productively like split my time between work and
Hmm.
school and other stuff. So I kind of always was like that. It was definitely more difficult, and I don't really feel like I was always very, focused and into my own, career. But in quarantine, like really taken to the next level. And I honestly like don't be able to go back now, like devote that many more hours a day. I just don't think I can. And it's crazy that um it was not easy. It was, man. I don't think I'm gonna do it again though. I think I'm not going.
Yeah. Okay. And what grade will you be going into? Will you
I'll
be? You say
junior, 11th grade.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
15?
Yeah. I skipped a grade of preschool.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like the numbers wasn't making sense. 15 going into 11th grade, but yeah, for sure. Like that's awesome right there. But yeah, like thank you for that. Let oh for sure. Oh, I was reading like one of the comments.
Yeah, yeah, I see.
Um, back to you. Away from like I was gonna call music work, but I guess it's kind of work, right? Okay.
It
Okay. Away from work, business stuff, like what are some personal hobbies that you like to do, like outside of all of that?
um, like I will go into hobbies that are not related to music, but a hobby that something be kind of like that's become a hobby is I used to write all the time. Like I would just go word over there, write alone. My
Hmm.
little a lot of my writing has been in the writer for a specific show or for an art, whatever, or my own. And I actually like once a week I need to allow myself to like go over there, voice memo on, notes out, and like alone just physically write. Because it used to be kind of my hobby, my primary like job. So I've been doing that. But other than that, like I'm a very big like outdoors person. I've been doing a lot of hiking and stuff.
Do
I've
they
been
have trails in New York?
They do. I mean, I live on Long Island on the east,
Oh, okay.
a mile from the Long Island Sound and like 8 from the ocean. So I have a lot of marsh and like over here, and then only like an hour from me is like the basically like the mountains. A lot of that doing many day trips. And like I'm just like a very physically like active person, so I've been doing a lot of working out in quarantine and you know that kind of stuff.
For sure. Okay. Outdoors individual. Have you done any outdoors concerts like before the world just decided to like almost shut down completely?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of live shows. I was headline shows and boom. I've done a lot of outdoor festivals and I've done, I've opened for other artists at indoor shows. I headlined a couple. Um, so I definitely was doing a lot of performing.
For sure. And when the coronavirus situation hit, like were you infected positive or negative or both?
You know, I'm honestly gonna be positive because I've been really like soul searching. I've been really focused. I've been really busy. And I miss some things, but I'm making do. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing things. I'm slowly going back out into the world, and I really like saw when I basically was locked up and nothing, I really saw who and what like that I really missed. And
Yeah.
that and it just basically quarantine has like taught me my own priorities. So I
Hmm.
really feel like I was affected positively. I mean, do I miss things? Yeah. But honestly, I've had a pretty good couple months considering, So I really say overall it has affected me positively.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I don't think if there wasn't a coronavirus, I wouldn't be doing podcasting with my uncle. So I guess I don't want to thank the coronavirus, but I don't know how to put it. Whatever. But you are our 88th interview in like 3 months, I
Wow.
believe, something like that. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming on and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I like to let the guests know how Instagram Live works because they like to be sneaky. So if we get to an hour, they'll give me like a 2-minute timer. And
Yeah.
oh, you know how it is? Okay,
I
for
would
sure.
do, like Wednesday night like lives
Uh
where I
huh.
like sick and at the end it's like counting down and I'm like, I gotta finish this song.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of kind of how they do things. But yeah, I just like to let you know because I didn't want it to like randomly the podcast to like randomly end like that.
Yeah.
So I thought I let you know that as well. But back to you though. I just want to get that out there. um, do you have a favorite project that you've worked on?
And I really can't say anything about this, but I actually was just a part of an EP for an artist at Epic Records, and it was so cool. Um, it was really cool. Like basically, like I was talking about Julia Michaels before. Like I was doing what she does. I was like, God. And I've never been such a hermit. Like I'm like not an introverted person, but I was like at my desk with like paper everywhere, computer, my phone. I was like, nobody talk to me. I don't want to be spoken to for like 4 days. And I was just working, working, working. That was so much fun.
I think we froze. Let me see if she comes back in. Okay, you back. It froze for a second, but we good.
Okay. Um, but yeah, it was really, really great. It was really great.
For sure. And what about a favorite past project?
Past project. Um, hmm. Can it be like
It
it's
could be
not
whatever.
music related, but I was on an NBC show, and that was like a really cool experience, to get to be on the set and like experience that. And I've done like a lot of film. That was like a next level. Um, so that's not music related like the other one, but that's definitely like one of my favorite projects.
Okay. And well, hold on a second. I'm gonna pull this up on my other phone. I read this on your Instagram page because I'm trying to. I don't want to say it wrong, so I want to make sure. So wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. So you are a actress as well, correct?
Yeah,
How did? Well, I think you said how you got into that, like when you were like 5, right? Something like
yeah,
that.
in class.
And
I could
how
do it.
and how has that been going? Like due to the situation.
Due to the situation, that has been that's just kind of like at a halt, kind of
Hmm.
stuff. So I really haven't been able to do that. And it's so like hard. That's one of the things that's been really hard. I'm glad you mentioned it because I forgot to. I've been watching so much TV and I've been watching so much and I'm like, I miss acting so much. Um, so yeah, it really hasn't been active right now. That's
Hmm.
something I'm excited for, to get back to. I just love like movies. Like I've done commercials and stuff, but like really getting like dive into like a role like amazing.
For sure. And how have you been like? How do you craft your skill set? Like if you're an actress, like do you like read different lines? Do you practice? Like how do you do that?
So, um when it comes to like Do you mean like what exactly do you mean?
Like far as, like say if you're an artist, right? Like a musical artist. I know some of those artists practice their skills by like writing music, going into the
Oh,
studio, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
How do you do it as an actress?
You know, when you're younger, like when I was younger, I would go to acting classes and I would practice monologue and stuff like that. But once I've gone to a certain point, I really of like it's a lot of like when getting into it. It's a lot of training. I'm
Hmm.
kind of right now where I can't necessarily do that those and I can kind of really just if I'm got a call back for a specific role, like I'll read over everything and I'll practice, like in the mirror with my phone. um, starting out it's a lot of training, but once you get the hang of it, like it's more specific the role that like you're a part of or
For
you're
sure.
yeah at the time. Yeah.
Okay, and funny you bring that up. So I interviewed someone that was like into like acting. I guess they're on the channel FX. I forget what show it was, but she was telling me that now due to like the quarantine, how they do like auditions, they do
Self.
it. Yeah, they do it through their phone and then they send them the file, and then if they like it, they'll just call them back. And I'm like,
Yeah,
that's different.
self tapes before this because like long distance LA, like if I ever something in LA, honestly I just haven't been too active in that part of my life because I'm at such a point in my artistry where I'm like really like have like like social media playing an EP coming out, and they are probably doing taping right now. Like, I could talk to my manager, and like she would probably like, yeah, go out for this, and this. So maybe more like I haven't been as active in it. Like, there's really no like filming or any like in person, but there are self tapes going on. Like that's for sure. There always are. Um, it's definitely been slower for me.
Okay, for sure. That's I agree with that answer. Fair enough. What about back to music for a second? Um, do you have like any music videos out?
So, I have quite a few. I have my jealousy, and then I have some older ones um, from when I was like younger. Um,
Hmm.
my most recent one's from about a year ago. I think it came out like June like of last year, so about a year old. But jealousy is like my number two like song as far as charting and stuff. So I do have that video out. Then I have, like I said, some from when I was little, but it's not
And
as
that's on YouTube
yeah.
for sure. Okay. I thought you did, but I didn't know. But then again, I didn't want to say you did, and then come to find out you didn't. So I'd rather you say it than me. So yeah, appreciate that as well. And far as like your musical career long term, like what are the ultimate goals that you have for your music career?
For my career, I basically do I want to do everything. Like I want to be successful in like I want to be really successful in an area, but I don't want to just be like I want to be able to do everything. Like I was talking about Lady Gaga, and she has been able to write for people, and she's been able to star in a movie with Brad Pitt, and she's been able to. I want that. I want to be able to do like many different because I feel like that's one of the things that makes me stand out. Like, not to be bragging, but like one of
Sorry.
the things that makes me individual or like different from other artists is just like all the experience I've had in different areas of the music business and the industry. So I definitely like want to go back to Broadway one day. I don't want to just stay in like the pop lane. I want to be able to experience like everything.
For sure. And far as a musical legacy, So what that means is basically like what kind of legacy you trying to leave behind once you're all done.
Wow. Um, you know, similar to kind of what I said, that you can really like do every like that's the answer. I've never really thought about that, but you know, I don't want to. Obviously, I want to inspire people, but I'm gonna have to think about that one a little bit.
Yeah, you may need to think about that. That's like kind of like a curveball question, but it's just
Yeah.
something I usually ask.
No,
So
I do, but I need to be prepared to ask it
yeah,
again. So
for sure.
I'm gonna have to think on that one.
Yeah, no, we'll have to do a part two specifically about legacies for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely set that one up as well. Um, Next question I have for you. Aside from, I guess, being an independent artist, like, is being in the music industry everything you thought it would be?
No. Um, it's definitely like I grew up with like, and everyone grows up this way with like the perception that like talent is everything. It's
Yeah,
not. So many things that get ahead in life. And as an artist, like some people have more resources than others, and um, just you have to go up against one do like whether it's like connections, adjustments, like being able to not let that do because there are people that like maybe maybe they want as you whatever you know what I'm saying. Um, I was I mean that's kind of like a big picture thing. Like I thought when I was younger that artists were singing in their music videos, but like not, So I would say, yeah, I would say, um, how to make it.
yeah,
Um, but you know what? It's not, connections or whatever are not the only way. Um, so yeah, that's kind of that.
for sure. And I think you can say that about any business. Like, it's never what you think it is. Because podcasting is not what I thought it was, but it somehow works out. But yeah, so I have to say about that. And far as my next question, I'm not sure if it's a question, but I'm gonna go with it. Did you get to share everything you wanted to share with us? Of course.
um, think so. Um, yeah, I think so. I've pretty much covered mostly everything that's been going on. Yeah,
For sure. Okay, that sounds good. And if you want a copy of this video,
definitely. Yeah.
for sure, um, DM me your email address, and once I download it or edit it, I'll send it over to you. And I plan to stream to YouTube and to our Facebook page. So
That's
that's
so.
yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And yeah, thank you for joining Keep It
Thank
100 podcast. This was
you.
awesome. I enjoyed it. Yeah, because before you commented on that one video I did, I think it was the last podcast I did. Uh, no, not the last one. The one before that with Ness,
Mhm.
and I was like, wow, what kind of artist is she? Like, pop. I was like, I don't know nothing about no pop. But so I had to do some research. Literally, I started listening to all your music. I was like, okay,
Oh,
yeah, for sure. But I guess I'm a fan now, so that worked out. Never thought I would be that kind of a fan. More of a hip hop person, but it's all good. It's all right. I guess in podcasting you have to know all industries. So yeah, thank you for coming on, and shoot me your email address.
Do that right away.
DM me, and I'll send you the video over, and we could talk in the DMs because I want to ask you some more questions about the video. So yeah, for sure. Um, yeah. So thank you for coming on,
Thank you.
and it's almost 5 there, right? Where
Hmm?
you're at? It's almost 5 o'clock there, right? Okay, for sure. Yeah,
All right.
but thank you for coming on, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a good weekend.
You too.
All
Bye.
right, thank you. Bye.